Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Rick Dickert, who could tell us all about what you think really happened here, because the fire department's saying it's a microcell event, Rick, and then the National Weather Service probably assessing maybe something different.
That's right, and they will get meteorologists out there. Thank you, Sandra. We're determining whether it's straight line winds, which would be due to a downburst. Think of a water faucet. When that water comes straight down on the base of your sink, it spreads out in all different directions there, but it's more of a straight line event, where tornadic winds are circular there, and we look at the damage to determine the direction of the trees that were knocked down, the poles that were knocked down, any of those power poles. You see the big rig container trucks that have been overturned. Bottom line, this is a significant wind event, not a complete surprise. We were anticipating the potential for some severe weather because of the instability in the atmosphere. A colder air mass has moved in over Southern California, a lot of lift in the atmosphere with the cold air loss and a little bit of surface heating. When the sun came out, that air rises and creates that instability there. But what we're going to determine here, the National Weather Service will send out a team to Montebello to assess that damage, to determine if these were either tornadic winds or straight line winds from a microburst. We rate tornadoes, much like we do with hurricanes, on a scale of 0 to 5, an EF, and what that stands for, enhanced or an upgraded Fujita scale. Dr. Fujita is the atmospheric scientist who devised this rating scale many years back. And what they do is they look at the scale of the damage, so wind damage, and EF0 being the garden variety type of tornadoes, where an EF4 or 5, those are the horrific storms that we see in the Midwest and the plain states. So they will determine whether the winds are tornadic or straight line. Bottom line, a lot of damage there. Bottom line, instability in the atmosphere. We can anticipate more showers, isolated thunderstorms, some that could create the funnel clouds, the tornadoes, the graupel or small hail into the afternoon and overnight hours before this low pressure system finally exits Southern California. We had two components to this weather system. We had the atmospheric river that arrived during the first part of the day yesterday, when we saw that steady moderate to occasionally heavy rain late night Monday into the morning hours on Tuesday. And then behind it, this colder low pressure system dropping south out of the Gulf of Alaska began to impact us. And that's what's still impacting us. Remember, when we show you the radar and we watch the radar, we'll have a key in the upper right corner of your screen that indicates the intensity of those storms. And when you see the yellows, the oranges, and the reds, that is the most significant. We've seen a lot of hail out there, some graupel, some frozen precipitation down to sea level, like we did here in Manhattan Beach overnight last night, and that will continue into the next several hours and the overnight hours before this low pressure system starts to exit the area. And one point, Sandra, about tornadic activity. We have been hit by tornadoes in the past here in Southern California, and this might surprise you and many people at home, that west of the Mississippi River, California, the Central Valley, the Sacramento Valley to the north, and the San Joaquin Valley to the south, and the coastal areas of Southern California, including LA and Orange County, have a higher instance of tornadoes than any location west of the Continental Divide. And that is because of the fact of our coastline, the way it bends. As you look at the radar right now, the inland location of the mountains, and as these low pressure systems drop into Southern California, all of that interacts to create the severe weather. Yes, these tornadoes, as I said, more of the garden variety type, not the devastating storms that we see in the plains in the Midwest. But west of the Continental Divide that runs through the Rocky Mountains, we have more tornadoes or tornadic activity in the Central Valley of California and the coastal areas of Southern California than any other parts of the western states.
It's just surprising to all of us, right, Rick, that we are dealing with something like this. I know you said, yes, that categorically that we kind of have the right conditions for potential tornadic activity, but I mean, I don't remember any time really dealing with this kind of weather and this type of damage we've been seeing in our communities, especially in Montebello. But let's take a look at this video. We're getting video coming in. I don't know if you saw it, Rick, too, but it does show the time it happened, some cloud. I don't know if it's the downspurt, as you mentioned, just a straight line wind event, or tornadic in terms of wind and circular motions, as you've been mentioning. But you see the debris flying around. It does look a little circular. I'm no expert, obviously, but you're just seeing the devastation and just the roofing being ripped off of those buildings.
Yeah, there's no question, and that could be tornadic damage. And looking, you could see right there, you could see the circular motion. This is the first time I'm seeing this video, and that is a funnel cloud dropping from the base of that thunderstorm cloud, that cumulonimbus cloud, where these storms originate from. That clearly, at least that video, does look like it would be more tornadic, that it is circular there. The way that the debris is spinning there in a counterclockwise flow and that funnel dropping down, that certainly looks more tornadic as I look at this for the first time, as opposed to the straight line winds. And again, they're going to rate this storm. The team from the National Weather Service up in Oxnard, which is responsible for the forecast and warning areas of Montebello and LA County, will come out and assess the damage likely tomorrow, if not sooner, once this event moves on, this low pressure system moves on. And they will look at everything. They will look at the direction that the trees that were impacted are knocked down. They will look at those container trucks and how they were impacted, all that debris. And, of course, they're going to assess all the video from people who witnessed this nearby that industrial area and determine if indeed it was a tornado and how they will rate it, an EF0, an EF1, an EF2 even. Most of the tornadoes that have impacted Southern California, and I have seen in my time here, born and raised here in Southern California, I've witnessed from Skyfox and on the ground covering a couple of water spouts. One of the water spouts down in the Seal Beach area actually did move ashore, and once a water spout moves ashore, that's a tornado over water, and moves over land, it does become a tornado. Most of those in the EF0 to EF1 range, which are the weakest systems, which have the weakest winds, but still can cause a lot of damage here. But definitely unique to Southern California. We keep mentioning, Sandra, the winter of 1982 and 1983, and I was just a young kid back then, but that was a big El Nino year here in Southern California and all of California. We're comparing our snowpack this year to that year, the 82 and 83 year. That year, in March of 1983, a tornado moved through downtown L.A. and damaged the convention center in Los Angeles.